talking about how the producers of the Assassin's Creed franchise target their audience and how the audience respond to the franchise. I will also have a section on gender representation within the franchise and the gaming world. Qualitative data consists of detailed information rather than numerical data. It is useful for studies to find out in depth what people think or feel. This type of data can be collected using focus groups, questionnaires, and face-to-face interviews. Quantitative data consists of data in numerical form. This is useful for comparison as the data can be put into a graph or table. This type of data is collected by sites like Barb, ReadJar, and ABC, who collect viewer ratings for television and radio. There are different ways that producers conduct audience research. Producers will compare their production to other media texts that are similar, to see what audience they aimed their production at and what the audience was after the release. They do this to help get an idea of what audience they should be aiming towards with their own production. Focus groups are used in audience research to find out their perceptions, opinions, and attitudes towards the production to see if it suits the target audience. Films use test screenings, using people that match the criteria of their target audience to see what their response is to the film, and give them questionnaires to fill out about the film to get their opinion on it. Gender. Male, as the main characters in the Assassin's Creed franchise are male. Although they do have female characters, they are not playable. Also, the main target gender for action-adventure video games are males. Race. Western, as the setting for the games are primarily in the Western world. Age. 18 to 28 years. This is because the age rating for the game is classified as an 18, and this age range is the most common for gamers. Sexuality, heterosexual. Social status, E to C2. Religion, atheist, as there is no prominent religion present in the game. Young and Rubicon's 4 Cs. The struggler, as they seek escapism, which you can get from a game. Explorer, as they seek discovery, which is part of the game. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. STEAM, self-esteem, achievement, mastery, independence, prestige, and respect. The Assassin's Creed franchise targets its audience by the game content, which includes the usual action-adventure fighting, spying, pickpocketing, and interrogation. It also includes the popular trend amongst their target audience, parkour. The characters are made to target the audience as you learn about their lives before they become an assassin. For example, in Assassin's Creed 3, you watch the main character, Connor, grow up and you help him grow. You first play as him when he is a child, then a teenager, a young adult. Then when he is an adult, you start playing the game fully as he is now an assassin. This makes the game more personal to the gamer as it gives it more meaning. White, red, and light grey are the main colours as they feature on the characters' outfits. All the outfits include a red cloth tied around their waist and are on the logo. The font used in the logo is Trajan Pro. The style of the font suits the game as it is sleek with sharp edges and is eye-catching. This makes it instantly recognisable to the franchise by the audience. The producers picked voice actors that are popular in the gaming world who are well known. Nolan North, who voices Desmond Miles. Roger Craig Smith, who voices Ezio del Torre Defiance. Matt Ryan, who voices Edward Kenway. They also hide celebrities like Kristen Bell, who voiced Lucy Stillman. Danny Wallace, who voiced Sean Hastings. The music created for the games is original and suited to the scene which is being shown while the music is playing in the background. The producers use well-known and established composers who the gamers may recognise, and fans of the composers may play the games because they know the composers. The game soundtracks are available to download and buy, which allow the gamers to listen to the music used in the games. The producers of the Assassin's Creed franchise target their target audience through the words they use in the script, as although the games are based in the past, a majority of the language used by the characters in the game is modern, so that the players can still understand what the characters are saying. The first 6 Assassin's Creed games are all part of the same storyline, however only the first 5 are similar with their characters, as when Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag was released, it was no longer directly part of the main storyline and was now about pirates and based in the Caribbean, but still included Desmond Miles and Abstergo. The main genre for the Assassin's Creed franchise is action-adventure stealth. This genre is very popular among their primary audience, so it will appeal to them. The codes and conventions used by the producers in the game to portray the genre of action, adventure and stealth are that the missions include spying on your targets to gather information, scaling buildings to hide from the guards or to follow a target without being spotted, These objectives in the game tie in with the genre of stealth, and also the fact that the main character is an assassin who are known for their stealth. The code and conventions of the action-adventure genre that are included in the game are the fast-paced edits between gameplay and the narrative cutscenes, shown to tell the story. Also, the games have a dramatic, non-diegetic soundtrack composed for them which creates tension in the games during both gameplay and the cutscenes. The game consists of both small and large fight scenarios, and the violence is graphics. This targets their audience, as when they see these code and conventions, they will recognise them in the game trailers and will want to buy the game. The narrative of the Assassin's Creed franchise crosses over all of the first 6 games. However, the character Desmond only appears in Black Flag as a spirit, as he is now dead, but the company is still using his DNA to explore his ancestors' past during the Third Crusade, the Renaissance, the colonial era, and the French Revolution. The storyline with Desmond and Abstergo extends over all the games smoothly and clearly. This targets the gamers as it links all the games, so it encourages them to buy all of the Assassin's Creed games, and makes them feel like they are part of the story as they play as both Desmond and his ancestors. After receiving criticism at the gaming event E3 for not having a playable female character in their games, Ubisoft have released a trailer especially for the female character Elise in Assassin's Creed Unity. However, she is not a playable character. Elise is a strong female lead who is a central character in the game's storyline and fights beside one of the main characters in the game, Arno, even though she is not an assassin herself, but instead a Templar, who the assassins have an age-old conflict with. Although she is described as a strong character, the first scene released of her is Arno coming to rescue her from being beheaded, which portrays her as a damsel in distress. She is also a love interest for the main character. On the other hand, although she is not a playable character, Ubisoft are making a book from her point of view about the battle between the Assassins and the Templars, and an action figure will be made of her. The main characters in the Assassin's Creed franchise are all male apart from Assassin's Creed Liberations, which has a playable female character. This game was at first only available to play on the PS Vita and featured the main male character from Assassin's Creed 3. However, 2 years after the initial release of the game, it was later relaunched in HD and was now available on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. This was due to petition from the game's fans to get the game made in HD. The game also did not feature Desmond Miles, a character who has appeared in the first 6 games. The website IGN rated the game 5.2 mediocre in the review done by Vincent Ignatio. His verdict was that the character was interesting but the craft was sloppy due to inconsistent graphics, bad voice acting, boring missions and the persona system. The game had a unique feature called the persona system, which allowed the viewers to change what Evelyn was wearing, but when the player picked the lady persona, Evelyn could no longer fight as a persona removed the combat option, and when the character walked down the streets of New Orleans, you would be approached by thugs. There was also the save persona option, however it was no different from the assassin persona as the hiding techniques would be the same, to blend in a crowd of people and to use props to blend in. Uses and gratification theory. This theory suggests that the audience decides themselves what they take away from the media text which suits their needs. Identity. Characters that the audience can relate to as they have similar traits or values to the viewers, and characters that the viewers aspire to be. Education, to be informed about events and storylines. Socialization. What happens in the media text can be talked about and used as a topic of conversations. Entertainment. While the audience watch the media text, it should give a form of escapism to the viewer and enjoyment. A producer will encode the media text with a message, and the audience would have to decode the message hidden inside the text. However, as the message is not always clear, there can be many different interpretations. Producers limit the interpretations by using code and conventions that go with the genre. This will help the producer to position the audience. There are 3 different audience responses. Preferred. This is the response that the producers want their audience to have. Negotiated. This is when the audience partially agrees with the message of the film, agrees with some of it as well. Oppositional is when the audience does not agree with the message of the film. Hypodermic needle theory, an outdated theory from the 1920s. This theory is about how the audience has a passive response to the media text and won't challenge the text. which suggests that the audience's behaviour will be manipulated by the media text and will affect how we behave and think. It has been argued as to whether or not video games are part of what makes children misbehave and commit crimes. Some people believe that the exposure to the sexual and violent content in games affect children's behaviour. However, some believe that because children can commit crimes inside the gaming world, they do not feel the need to commit these crimes in the real world too. An example of when some people believe that a media text influences people's behaviours is the radio broadcast of War of the Worlds by Orson Welles on Halloween of 1938. The radio drama series aired by Columbia Broadcasting System was interrupted by an urgent announcement of a Martian invasion in progress. However, this was part of the series. The realistic portrayal of the story had supposedly sparked widespread panic throughout the country and was taken as proof that media text has the power to control audiences. However, the lack of evidence led some people to question this theory, which is based on many assumptions unsupported by research and evidence. Critics pointed out that there was no actual evidence on how widespread the panic was and suggested that the newspapers that reported it could be exaggerating.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News. At 20 minutes before 8 Central Time, Professor Farrell of the Mount Jennings Observatory, Chicago, Illinois, reports observing several explosions of incandescent gas occurring at regular intervals on the planet Mars. The spectroscope indicates the gas to be hydrogen and moving toward the Earth with enormous velocity. We now return you to the music of Ramon Raquello, playing for you in the Meridian Room of the Park Plaza Hotel, situated in downtown New York.
The fan culture of the Assassin's Creed franchise has now expanded to the film industry, as the game Assassin's Creed is currently being made into a film with Michael Fassbender casted to play the main character. Ubisoft, who create the game, have also produced merchandise especially for the Assassin's Creed franchise, which includes accessories, clothing, bags, books and artwork. They have also made a feature where you can shop by character and buy items of the character's clothing, for example Edward Kenway's vest from the game Black Flag. On YouTube there has also been many parkour and cosplay videos made, inspired by or recreating scenes from the Assassin's Creed franchise.